6, leading North Ringwood 2-5-17. Tim, quickly, Barry, your tip from here?
I think
Forest Hill.
Forest Hill will take
Forest
it
Hill. I'm going to sit with my original tip before the game, Tim, of Forest Hill.
Well, I've got to stick with my tip originally before the game. I'm going to go Whitehorse. I'm going to get him to come back into the game, but I still don't think it's going to be quite enough, so I might have to switch to Forest Hill at this stage.
All right, no dramas. So we're almost ready for the second half. Dan Sentik's back in the box. He's ready to take over. He's got the sunnies on because the sun is out and about, and he's ready to take us into the second half.
Yeah, thanks, Matt. Gee, what a first half of footy it was, and Steve Pym at his vintage best, kicking 5 goals. Just an absolute pleasure to watch those forwards on song, isn't it, Rainer? There's been a few people around the higher leagues have said the bag of goals is dead. Well, there's plenty of it happening in the Eastern Football League, isn't there?
Oh yeah, no, there certainly is. And when you get a guy like Pimmy, you know, 3 goals in the first quarter, it set him up, you know, and he's finished it off with 2 more. The fifth one he kicked was outside the 50-metre line, so a bit of wind behind him. But no, it's good to see, Dan. Look, this is a game now where all the pressure's on the Whitehorse Pioneers at this stage. You know, they've got to really get back into this game. They'll be kicking towards the wind end at the moment, although it seems to have dropped off a little bit to what it was in that second quarter. But anyway, look, it's all in their hands now. If they've got to score the first goal, that's the first thing, and then just take it from there.
Well, the undefeated Pioneers under siege at the moment. They find themselves 21 points behind on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. And to start this third term, the umpire holds the ball aloft. We're back in the middle. Rucks go at it. Klein, rather it was Groves on that situation. Yeah. Goes inside forward 50 in the Cardamone direction. Unable to take it. McDougall gathers it up now. Handball up was a good one to Ryan, who clears. Out wide to the wing. And now the Pioneers look to work things out. Clever kick there by Daly up towards half forward. Wrapped up in the tackle there on that occasion was Creek. And we'll see a ball up.
One of the players you mentioned in that call then, Dan, was Cardamone. Now, he's one player that really's got to start and do something because he's been unsighted up to now.
Well, Sim wrapped up in the tackle and over the boundary line and out of bounds, and we haven't gone a minute yet in this third term, but 21 points of difference. Undefeated, the Whitehorse Pioneers heading into today's game, and they find themselves with a huge task in this third term. As the ball comes back into play, Quinn knocks it, wasn't to the advantage though, as players scramble around the footy, and we'll see another ball up. Plenty of stoppages in this game today.
That was Maguire then for the Zebras. He's been a fairly good player.
He's played well, hasn't he? Yeah. He's played a very aggressive style of game.
Yeah.
As Quinn wins a tap once again. Clean bowls Bevan. And now Connell feeds the handball out to Ryan, who runs through the middle. Kicks inside forward 50. It's only as far there as Johnston, who's been sensational. Probably best on ground for the Zebras to this point of the game.
Absolutely.
Towards half back, Palmer tries to gather. Does so. Tries to run his way out of trouble, but taken down in the tackle there. Umpire call play on. And now Mowat. Clever handball out, was a good one. And the ruckman there in Groves just went to ground but got the handball out quickly.
Rode the hip and shoulder nicely too.
And Ryan goes to ground, and Townsend wrapped up, but he's won himself the free kick here on the wing at Springfield Park.
So it's Townsend going forward now for the Pioneers. They need something early in the piece. A bit of spark. Dalgleish, the fly at the back. Well, he just ripped the ball away from him here. They've got numbers backwards to go forwards. Here's Daly on the left boot, just switching it across. That was smart play. You got to play percentage football when you're trailing by 21 points, don't you, Ray Baird? 2.5 minutes in. It's Tom Connell having a ping, and we've seen players be able to kick from this range, especially down the Doncaster end of Springfield Park.
But what they've had to do for the 2 minutes or so of this quarter, they've actually bombed the ball in with no result.
So Connell comes in now. He will have done this at training so many times, and the goal does not move, and that sparks his side, and as well as the supporters out here in the grandstand at the Whitehorse Pioneers. And on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, moves them to 5-6-36, back to 15 points. here, and it's Forest Hill 8-3-51.
I think
Tyler's
that's
work there by Connell, wasn't it, Ray?
Yeah, it was. Look, I think the message though would have gone out from Jamie Carpenter at half-time. Let's get the first goal on the board, which they've done that. Now let's just get another goal. Let's just not get ahead of ourselves.
Well, back in the middle as the Zebras try to scramble it forward, but it's all Whitehorse Pioneers. Sim busting through. Got the handball out, but only as far there as Denny's. Inside forward 50, but Mark taken down back there by McDougall, who switches it out towards the wing. Off the boot there. And at the bottom of the pack is number 8. I'm not sure who that was.
No, we haven't got a number for him.
No, we do. It's Timmy Law.
Tim Law, but
Is it? Okay.
it's going to be a free kick. And it's going to go the way of Forest Hill, Cicluna. Short chip pass to Denny's in the middle of the ground. And Denny's up towards the Steve Pym direction, but two defenders in front of him, Mariani being one of them, got the handball up. Quinn, McDougall at half-back. Short chip pass was good to Townsend. Didn't panic under pressure there, McDougall. And Townsend just waiting up his best option now. Switches it to centre half-back, risky kick. Fist came from the back, was that Moat? The bottom of the pack wrapped up by 3 Whitehorse Pioneers. And we'll see a ball up, centre half forward for Forest Hill. Gee, that was a risky kick, wasn't it?
It wasn't percentage football.
So Quinn, Connell, up towards half forward. No one able to take that, but it's Patako roving it beautifully. Handball over the top to Padbury. Will he run into an open goal here? Soccer's off the ground, just away to the right. And as it's hit the post, so it's going to be a boundary throw-in. But, gee, a golden opportunity there for the Pioneers.
Really well done by Patako to work it forward, then get the handball off. And I tell you what, it's just unlucky the ball just didn't sit up at that time there for Padbury, because any other day of the week, it would have been in his hands as the umpire brings the ball back in. Cicluna tries to snap it out. Wrong end of a kick off his wrong side. It was touched, but it was scooped upon there by Creek. Got it over the top there. That's okay, Powell. They're working in a series of handballs here, the Zebras, to get themselves out of trouble. But a little bit of undisciplined play sees Eddie Sims receive a free kick. About 50 metres out from goal. Patako, I should say. Thank you very much, Ray. Eyesight's better than mine, and there's a 70-year age gap as well. So well done to you, mate. Hats off. Matty Patako comes in. It's a floater, but it's straight. This goal umpire has not moved for the whole quarter. He's standing straight and true, and the Whitehorse Pioneers, they're answering the challenge early in this third term, Ray Baird. We've ticked over 6 minutes now, and the margin's only back to 9 points.
Yeah, no, they've come out since half-time and done what they've been, obviously would have been asked to do, but I mean, they've only got pegged back 12 points, so they've still got a little bit, but things look good at the moment for the Pioneers. Look, I just question...
They've only pegged back 12 points. They've kicked the only 2 goals for the quarter.
I'm just saying they've pegged back 12, they've still got another 12 or so to go.
Not having a dig, umpire throws it up now at the bottom of the pack. Patako in there again, wrenched to the ground there by Austin Denny's, and the umpire will restart this one.
What I'm saying, if the Zebs get the next 12 points, that's meant nothing.
Well, the run is with the Pioneers as the ball's knocked out. It comes out towards Patako again, chopped off nicely there by Burmeister. Tried to get the handball away. Coming in, Patako of the Damien variety, and probably should start distinguishing between the two, because we're hearing Patako a lot here on the broadcast as it comes out now. Forest Hill a chance to drive the ball forward, floating kick up towards the Cardamone direction. Hasn't been able for it to go his way today. He did kick a fancy goal in the second term though. Nice handball over the top there by Connell. Hit his teammate up towards the wing position. It goes, but out of bounds on the full, and Forest Hill a chance to rebound, Dan Sensic.
Well, they need to reply, as the Whitehorse Pioneers have been red hot in the early stages of this third term. Kick goes up towards centre half forward. Klein at the front, couldn't take it. Cicluna at the bottom of the pack, wrapped up in the tackle, and we'll see a ball up at centre half forward for Forest Hill. We've gone 8 minutes in this third term. It's back to a 9-point ball game on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. 8-3-51 Forest Hill. Whitehorse 6-6-42. Beautiful belt forward. Inside forward 50 for the Zebras. Here's Bevan just crunching his way through there. Chip kick into the middle of the ground. Beautifully worked out there. And that's McCormack. Kick across the ground was good to Connell. Chips it over the top now. Finds Bataka with a Matthew variety. He moves it inside forward 50 very quickly. 2-on-1 situation. Great mark taken there by Powell. Moves it on to Moat at half back.
That's a good switch because he did it quickly.
Short chip pass finds Palmer in front of McDougall there. And plays on with the handball very quickly back to Moat. It's got leather poisoning today, I'd imagine.
He's brilliantly playing today.
Inside 50, Klein couldn't take the mark. Ryan tries to work his way through, does so.
Go the guts.
Gone straight down the middle, long kick inside forward 50, 3-on-1 situation. At the back here, it's Powell. He'll see it over the boundary line and out of bounds for a throw in. Deep inside the Whitehorse Pioneers, attacking 50. 6-6-42 plays 8-3-51 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
Barry Cott's around the grounds with the score centre.
Yeah, Division 3 is the Basin 13-6-84 is leading South Belgrave 8-1-49.
So the Basin have come out to play today. No doubt about that, and kicking straight, piling it on. First couple of quarters. Back here in Division 4, Cicluna snaps around the body, he took it all! The goal umpire was right on top of that, touched off the boot. It went through, but one behind is the result. 10 minutes tick over now, or almost, in this third term. They call the premiership quarter, and it's entertaining thus far, Shooter. 8-3-51, 6-7-43. We've got an 8-point margin out here at Springfield Park with the Zebras to bring the ball back in. A lot of players around it. It's across the half-back line, close to the boundary line. Diving on top of it there was McDougall. Could have got a push in the back. And Mariani was there over the top as well. So we'll have a bounce 50 metres out from the Whitehorse goal line.
So the umpire balls it back up. Beautiful thump forward though. It's landed in the hands of Taylor, who's brought to ground. And bursting through there was O'Brien. Tackled there nicely by Denny's, who's had a fair bit of the footy and been good for Forest Hill in this game so far.
I reckon Taylor should have been pinged there for holding the ball, because he basically just handed it to his teammate. He'll go after it again. Nicely done there by Sim. Handball out wide. McDougall sees it over the boundary line as Barry Cotts brings us some more important around the ground scores, and Tim Fitzsimons gets his first touch in his life.
Yes. Division 3, it's Templestowe 4 behind, trailing Waverley Blues 26, Ferntree Gully and Ringwood 33, Ferntree Gully 17. And Heathmont 23 to Churnside Park 1 behind.
Eddie Sim with the long ball inside forward 50. Beautifully belted away there by Denham in front of Thorne. And we'll see a boundary throw in right on the 50.
Churnside Park 1 behind at half time.
Yes.
More scores?
Baronia 14-3, 87 to Warrandyte 4-2, 26. Division 4. And Kilside 37-25 is trailing East Burwood 55. Glen Waverley Hawks 80 to is ahead on with Forest Fair Park 2 goals straight 12, so that's 13-2-80, 2 goals straight 12, and Coldstream 13-7-85 to Nutter-Wadding 3-2-20.
Well, the kick from McDougall went out of bounds. It wasn't intended for any target. It fell in the path of 2 Forest Hill players who happily saw it over the line. Palmer got it down to Maguire, who's been good, towards half back, and the kick rolls over the line in front of Black there, and we'll see another boundary throw in right on the 50, right half forward there for the Whitehorse Pioneers. 6-7-43, 8-3-51 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. It's an 8-point margin. Whitehorse Pioneers have been good early in this third term. Beautiful belt comes forward now. Moat finds himself at the bottom of the pack, just trying to work his way up, and the umpire calls for the ball. And we'll see a ball up on the wing, closer to half forward. Zebras win the tap, and plenty of players converge on it. The bottom was Black once again, and we'll see another ball up. 12.5 minutes gone, third term. So the Zebras with the tap. Front there, it's Mitsu, and great tackle there by Moat.
Been very good, Moat.
It'd be close to best
Very
on ground,
good.
but along with Tim Johnson for the Forest Hill Footy Club. They've been absolutely fantastic today. As the Zebras get the tap, Cicluna has got a couple to beat, just shovels the handball out now. Moat, beautiful kick out. Didn't go far though.
Good second effort to lay the tackle though. Brilliant play.
And Tim Law wraps up his Forest Hill opponent, or rather it was McDougall, and we'll see another ball up.
This game's been very well umpired, especially by the young boundary umpire on the far side of the ground, doing a brilliant job this afternoon. The ball goes forward there, scooped upon there by Bridges, over the top. That's okay. Cardamone took the ball and got crunched.
A little bit too much airtime in the hand.
Yeah, well, we can hear you as an echo, but if you want to turn your microphone on, if you want to talk, mate.
Barry turned it off.
Oh, throwing people under the bus. It's not how we roll here in the caravan. As it goes over the top there, nicely done, unless we're throwing you under the bus. To Daly, couldn't quite get to clear possession. Stacks on the mill, and we'll have a ball up right in front of the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, which reads 8-3-51. Forest Hill leading this game by a handy 8 points. Whitehorse, they're champing at the bit, 6-7-43. Umpire throws it up. A lot of players around this football. We've seen this a bit, but working his way through traffic there was Bataka of the Damien variety. Up towards the half-forward line, working well there was McCormick. On the right boot, inside forward 50. He goes looking for Dalglish. Jeez. Well, it was almost inside the 50. He was up towards the half-forward line, but he couldn't quite trap that one. So they were going wide. He did have the lead, just needed to hit the target. And once again, we'll have a boundary throw-in. And speak of the devil, of what I was only talking about moments ago, the boundary umpire here doing a brilliant job, working his way in and then putting it right where it needs to be as the rucks go at it there. That time, ball comes out, strong tackle over the back there by Jake Davis, and we'll have a ball up.
Well, car sales getting plenty of advertising today, of course, modelling themselves beautifully on the umpires' uniforms. But Palmer belts it towards the front. Mariani tries to keep it in play, tries to bulk one, but tackled over the line. Beautifully there by Creek.
He took him on and got caught. That's a good free kick.
And a free kick to Creek now, who tries to switch it. Up towards Moat, spoilt there by Quinn. McCormack. And the little look away hand pass there by Black. Tried to come off there. Handball came out. Black once again, but sees it over the boundary line as McDougall for another boundary throw in. We've gone nearly 16 minutes in this third term. 8-3-51 Forest Hill, 6-7-43 the Pioneers on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
Forest Hill have actually stopped the flow of what Whitehorse had when they were on the run there.
Palmer over the back, got a little fist down. He was looking for Fisher, couldn't quite get it. Little grubber kick for Forest Hill, goes up towards the half-forward line. Couldn't quite trap it that time. There was Klein. The kick goes forward now for Whitehorse, but nobody is home. And that man, Tim Johnston, went there, took the mark, got the handball away, got it back again, and now they're out towards the wing position. Football was trapped nicely there by Powell. Handball over the top. That was very, very scrappy. Right in front of us here on the broadcast position. Mitsu probably should have been pink for holding the ball there. It comes out now. Klein on the right boot. Kicks it towards the pin direction. No. Nicely done there that time by Laurie. Had the front spot. Got the fist away. Forest Hill seemed to have the numbers, but the Pioneers are coming for support. Law comes back in. Pim goes over the top. Just shoved out the way there was McDougall, and over the boundary line it goes. Tim Law, second, third, fourth effort. Well done there by the backman. And the ball goes over the boundary line and out of bounds. So, across the half-forward line here for Forest Hill. Haven't kicked a goal this term, so 17 minutes have ticked by. Fisher goes after it. It comes out, stab around the body by Cicluna. Well, he picked it up and mopped it up magnificently there. I said they hadn't kicked a goal, and it only took 3 seconds after that comment for it to go through the big sticks. That's an important one there for the Zebras. And on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, they lead by 14 points. 57 plays 43 as we cross down boundary side to Tim Fitzsimons.
Yeah, that goal came from Tim Johnson in the back line. Whitehorse had to be smarter. Long kick in. He was all on his own, and they were able to attack, get a stoppage inside forward 50, and we saw what happened. Goal to Forest Hill.
So the steadying one for the Zebras there as the margin is 14 points. We're back in the middle. Quinn won the tap. And brought to the ground once again, the footy, and Daly wrapped up in the tackle there by Davis. And we'll see another ball up. Nearly 18 minutes gone in the third term. 14-point ball game. Quinn wins the tap. Handball out was fed out there by O'Brien. Connell, who's played up the ground in this third term. Beautiful switch across the ground. Ward at centre half forward. I think he looks like he's going to go back and have the shot here.
Yeah, silly not to, with that breeze at the back and just kicking outside the 50. We've seen it happen so much so far, and they need the quick answer here, so why not have a ping?
Tom Connell would be in Whitehorse's best three too.
So Mitch Ward, as he comes in to kick for goal from the paint, doesn't have the carry. It's away to the left, and the fist came from the Forest Hill defence there. It's over the line for a behind. 6-8-44 Whitehorse, 9-3-57 Forest Hill. 13-point margin, closing in on 19 minutes in this third term. Kick in there from Denham. Found Maguire, and
It's been good, Maguire.
Back to Maguire. Kick was touched off the boot or smothered. And a boundary throw, and I think he's cranked
Sorry
up
about
as
that,
well.
Dean. As soon as I said that, his kick was smothered.
You give a bloke a rap, and that's what happens.
So umpire to bring the ball back in. Textbook Melbourne weather today. Can't make up its mind. Whitehorse handball out wide. Kennett set up for Dalgleish. Paddled it to his advantage. Gained 10 metres, but over the boundary line it goes once again. Keep the scores coming through at Footy EFL via Twitter. Should go local for your football this afternoon. Australia's premier local competition, the Eastern Football League, bringing you round 6 action. Dalgleish had the front spot from the stoppage, went after it again. He was quickly wrapped up there by Elijah Dale for Forest Hill, and will have a bounce. High throws it up, big fist away, and ball hits the deck. Was a good tackle, I will agree with that there.
This has been a good quarter by Forest Hill. It really has. It really held them up.
High throws it up now. Going after it was Eddie Sim. But it goes to say what you were saying earlier when Whitehorse kicked those first 2 goals. Now Forest Hill have pegged one back as well, Ray.
That's
So
right.
they really need something. Thorne tried to get that little handball over the top. It's really hard to get a clear disposal. Nick Bridges is in there, and once again another stoppage. I'm a big fan of the umpires' new uniforms too. I'm just going to throw that little nugget out there.
They stand out, don't they?
I think it looks great. If no, Ray, what's your opinion, Ray, on the situation?
I don't like them. I thought the AFL were renowned for their red and white umpire uniforms. I reckon they used to look terrific.
Well, given we're calling a game where it's white, a very predominantly white jumper for Forest Hill, I think the distinguishment between that is perfect.
I take that on board, but you've already mentioned today that your eyesight's no good. So anyway,
Dalgleish, if you've got an issue, use a tissue, Ray, because the change has been made. Dalgleish has already kicked 2 for the afternoon. He comes in, an important kick for his side, keeps it flat, but pushed it just left and through for a minor score.
so Ben, just
goal
on what
umpire
you
in the
said,
white jacket, which Ray will be proud of.
just what you said. What happens when Bayswater play Merrillbark with those green umpire uniforms?
Well, no one wears the lime green, uniform.
Mate.
That's
Still
why.
green.
That's
Still
why
green.
the decision's been made.
I worry about your eyesight on that.
Comes out, Jacob Mowat. Just because you're an old fogey doesn't mean tradition has to stay for the wrong reasons. As it goes out towards the wing position. Bouncing football right in front of the caravan here. Nice little toe poke by Gross off the ground. Kept the ball alive, but the Pioneers do have the numbers, and the kick goes down the line, and a strong mark being taken by O'Brien. He needs to take off. It was touch and go. The umpire said play on in the middle of the ground. Now it's been picked up there by Bridges. Got the handball away. Had some support. Strong tackling there by the Pioneers. Dalgleish over the top. He had Ward running after it. He's been dispossessed of the football. Well done again by Bridges to get back to the contest and bring Ward to ground, and we will have a bounce. I'm just saying, I think it's impressive, Ray.
No, I'm not going back to that. I'm just thinking to myself, the way that the Pioneers are going forward, there's no method in their forward movements. They're just kicking and hoping.
think it's not only is it tough conditions, but everyone's chasing everything at the moment. The ball's back in the middle of the ground. Batako, that was Damien, overran the football. They've still got the numbers. Slippery ball. Quinn got the handball out to Mariani. Pokes it up towards half forward, where Charlie Thorne had only eyes for the football, took the mark and copped one for his troubles. There may be a 25 paid here. I'm not convinced yet, as Thorne picks himself up. And he'll go back and have a shot on goal from just outside the 50. A chance to reduce the margin back to 6 points.
Yeah, good umpiring there. I don't think it needed to be 25. There's two players just clearly going for the footy and they didn't take their eyes off.
I totally agree with that. So, Charles Thorne, who's played deep the whole game, done plenty of 1%ers for his side, but a chance to make a mark on the scoreboard here. Most important kick of the afternoon. He starts at left and it comes back beautifully. He worked that wind magnificently, obviously training down here, and those shots on goal has worked off there, because the Whitehorse Pioneers, they are well and truly back in this clash, Ray Baird. 51 to 57, 24 minutes gone, and it is rain has come back out.
Well, it's going to be interesting now to see whether or not Forest Hill can arrest
this. Got nothing, clearly.
Whether or not Forest Hill can arrest this Whitehorse momentum as they did in the middle part of this third quarter. Great tackle there by Denny's. Wraps up the Whitehorse man, and we'll see another ball up in the middle of the ground. And I think with this rain coming down, we'll just be seeing plenty of simple footy. Just get it on the boot as quickly as you can. It was Denny's once again. Trying to burst through there was Batako of the Damien variety, and we'll see another one. Another ball up in the middle of a fairly muddy centre square.
A quality tackle by Davis there.
So Rucks go at it. Quinn once again. Only as far as Maguire. Little kick didn't go far. Ward looks to mop up now. Handball over the top. Finds McCormack. Now Batako. Damien Batako. Towards centre half forward, beautiful hit. And that's O'Brien at centre half forward. Gets it on quickly to the square, 2-on-1. But Dalgleish has stolen it and kicks his second, or third for the day, Dalgleish. And that was robbery right there, wasn't it? He had the two defenders to beat and just read the flight of the ball beautifully, and came through and strolled into an open goal. And he's been fantastic. No wonder Brash's messages through to earmark him as one of the players to watch today, because he has had a great game today.
Yeah, no, look, Martin Stillman would not be happy with that. He had two defenders down there, and look, Dale was the one that didn't go for the mark, but he should have put himself between the Whitehorse player and the ball, and he didn't do that.
All the kudos goes to Damien Batako for being a cool head in a tough situation to set that goal up, and the Pioneers go forward again. But the mark's being chopped off by Tim Johnston. It was in position A on the right boot, goes out towards the half back line. Mark's being taken by Burmeister, whilst Barry Kotz has some more important around the ground scores.
Yes, the Rowville game at Knox. Rowville 18-12, 120 to Knox, 39-27 in Division 1.
So it'll be Dale Klein up towards the half forward line. The ball just held up in the breeze there, so no easy way home. McDougall right underneath it, takes it for the Pioneers, and they've got the running at the moment, the Pioneers, up towards the wing position. Front spot knocked away there by Elijah Dale, and over she goes for a boundary throw-in. Happy seeing those round the ground scores for Rowville coming in, Ray, after...
Well, it is what it is, mate. One of the top sides playing the bottom side.
Hyde throws the ball back in now. Certainly wasn't a yes, was it, as it comes out now. Comes out Townsend. Looked like he was held without the football, and the umpire did see that. So Townsend quickly moves the ball inside forward 50, looking for Dalgleish. He had two players to beat. Thorne was in the front spot at the fall of the ball, but the ball was running away from him, and over she goes for a boundary throw-in. So just inside the arc here for the Whitehorse Pioneers. 27 minutes have ticked over. Scores are level, Dan Sensik.
Yeah, we look set for a cracking final term as we're closing in on three-quarter time. Great tackle there by Thorne. And Steve Pym takes the mark at centre-half back. So he's moved up the ground.
Yeah, clearly
Pym.
frustrated.
He's 5 goals to his name today. He's had a good game, but a pretty quiet third term, but he's not alone there, as Forest Hill have struggled to arrest the momentum. And they go forward now, the Whitehorse Pioneers, but Mitsu probably a bit too ambitious on that occasion with 2 defenders on his hammer.
Barry Cott's around the grounds.
Yes, Waverley Blues 4-11-35. Hold on to a steady lead against Templestowe 1-7-13 at 3/4 time.
Oh, that's pretty ugly. The siren sounds out here out at Springfield Park on EFL game day, and we try to pick the game of the round, and it does not get much closer than this, does it? It is 57 apiece out here. The Whitehorse Pioneers answering the challenge with the breeze advantage in that third term after trailing by 21 points at 3/4 time. 5 goals on the board to Steve Pym. He kicked them in the first half. Joel Dalgleish, the multiple goal kicker for the Pioneers. It is officially game on. 30 minutes of football in Division 4, Round 6 match of the day coming up right after this. We hope you're enjoying the broadcast on 98.1 Radio Eastern. There's no doubt you are, or of course streaming live around the globe, efl.org.au. Keep the scores coming in. It's 3/4 time right across the eastern suburbs at Footy EFL, and Barry Cott's with the Score Centre will be coming back right after this with all those important must-have information for everyone.
A scent or a song or a food that reminds me of someone. Lavender reminds me of my grandmother.
There's albums, when I listen to them, I think back to my dad playing them to me.
Vanilla perfume reminds me of my mum.
The smell of Yorkshire pudding reminds me of my old man. He was a great Yorkshireman.
An Italian pasta dish reminds me of my grandmother.
Be remembered for the greatest moments in your life. Find out more at tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
Program sponsor.
For the best EFL rap on radio, don't miss EFL Sunday. From 10 till 12 every Sunday morning, the EFL media team bring you all the final scores, goal kickers, best players and ladders, following a big round of EFL footy. The gang talk to the biggest names from across the league each and every week. EFL Sunday, from 10 every Sunday morning on 98.1 Radio Eastern. Nothing better than a companion to keep you up to date with all the latest when you're at the footy. Better still, one that fits in your back pocket. The Eastern Footballer is a must-read. All the latest information, team lists, feature articles and much, much more. Pick up your copy this weekend as you love it local across the Eastern Football League.
Hello, I'm Peter Hitchener. 9 News invites you to join our team nightly at 6 for Melbourne's #1 news. Tony Jones with the latest sport, including the footy, plus Lavinia Nixon's weather forecast. 9 News, proud supporter of the Eastern Football League.
Program sponsor.
Something nice that I have done for someone, I have bought a meal for a homeless person.
I always offer to pick people up from the airport.
I went out with a friend last night. Just being there and listening to what she was going through, I think made all the difference.
I'll write like a little note and put it in the mail. Might just be like, hi, I'm thinking of you.
I took my girlfriend to dinner last week. That's pretty notable for me.
At Tobin Brothers Funerals, they know that every life is unique, and they think that every celebration should be too. Find out more at tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
Program sponsor.
EFL Saturday Game Day continues. Let's head back and go local for your footy.
Radio Eastern 98.1 EFL Game Day here at Springfield Park in Box Hill North. Whitehorse Pioneers playing Forest Hill, and you couldn't get it any closer at 3/4 time because it's all tied up. Yes, it's the Whitehorse Pioneers 8-9-57 to Forest Hill 9-3-57. So we're definitely in for a very exciting last quarter here at the home of the Zebras. The Whitehorse Pioneers. But first, let's take a look at Division 1 scores. And firstly, Bourne and Blackburn, a very close game indeed. It's going to be a close ending, I guess. Surmise. Blackburn 8-11-59, a 1 point ahead of Bourne 9-4-58. Vermont 81 to Noble Park 43, so Vermont well ahead in that game. North Ringwood and